Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. It's been a long wait indeed. As you see by the title, we are going to be playing as Sweden. I know I've said that I was going to play as the Soviet Union and start as, or try to get Trotsky in power, but I've been playing a few hours now, just testing around with different countries, and especially the Soviet Union, and I just could not find a surefire way to get that to happen. So instead, we're gonna be playing as the Swedes. I mean, there are a bunch of fun countries here, and I'll definitely be playing them as the summer goes on. But I mean, everyone's gonna be playing these things. So I thought, you know what? I'm Swedish. Let's play as Sweden. And if I know Paradox, they will have fleshed out Sweden just a little bit more than the rest of the countries, because after all, they are a Swedish company. Per Albin Hansson, the Social Democratic Prime Minister of Sweden. The thing is, it says that the Social Democrats are for the Democratic faction, and I guess I can understand that, but I would have put them as non-aligned if it had been me playing or making the game, but you know, whatever. Then we've got these two national spirits that we start off with. En svensk tiger, which means a Swedish tiger, which gives us ideology, drift defense plus 10%, and justify war goal time goes up by 10%, which I mean is like adding 17 days to war goal creation, I think, or something, if it's 170 days, so it's not really that much. And then there's the neutral foreign policy, which I'm not sure how we change that, unless, of course, we do what we are about to do. Now, I will start off by saying this. Hearts of Iron 4 is a lot more simpler, or I think it's more simple than Hearts of Iron 3 in some regards. It's easier to, just learn as you play, but I'd say that there are just as many buttons everywhere. Like, lots of things. There's just the whole micromanagement of the production lines is a huge deal. We've got, and it's not a bad thing. I like it. But then we've got the upgrade, and you know, it's just there's a lot of depth in this particular title. In fact, they even gave me a little. I mean, the game comes with a tutorial, but they gave me like a manual just to, I think it was 30 pages just to try and learn the game. But of course, I had been following the game quite avidly myself, so it was not too much of a problem here. Increasing the production output for the guns, and we're gonna choose some research, put some factories to work, and I'm not really gonna show you everything, but I will show you this. We are going to go down the political effort, but we can't, because here's the thing. We'll do political effort, and then we'll do collectivist ethos, but we can't do the collectivist ethos because we have to be communist or something, and thus we're gonna go the industrial effort all the way down to an extra research slot, which is gonna put us ahead by quite a bit in terms of technology, and I think we're really gonna try to be on the edge of technology since our manpower isn't exactly huge. We're also gonna go down the mobile warfare tree here, because I feel, not that it's very Swedish, but since we don't, again, have a huge manpower, I think we're gonna try to focus on having, you know, an elite core of mechanized and armor, and, you know, just mobile warfare divisions that, you know, just destroy things, especially against Finland and Norway. I don't know. What else are we gonna choose? I am not sure. Let's do some tanks, I think. Tanks would be interesting. Yeah, let's research heavy tank already. Or is that really a good idea? I'm not too sure. This is already 2 years ahead. Okay, let's go down the heavy tank line. Wonderful. Now, you're probably wondering, like, why are you going down the political effort if you're not going to go down it immediately anyway? It's because this first one gives me 120 political power, and 120 political power is going to enable me to recruit this one guy Hilding Hagberg, who is a communist revolutionary and is going to give daily communist support 0.1%. That's huge. That means that the Communist Party of Sweden is going to gain 1% support every 10 days. That's 100% support in what? 1,000 days. That's just massive. And since we're going to try to go Soviet this time, yeah, it's probably a good idea to have him. Some may also be asking, why are you not going down the fascist or democratic route? Well, the fascist route is probably very interesting as well, but we're gonna be doing the fascist line for Brazil in another next, or not a next Let's Play. I'm gonna be doing 2 Let's Plays at the same time, so if you haven't seen that, you can check out on my channel. I'm probably already uploading those, and yeah, since we're doing fascist on them, I thought, let's do something different with Sweden. Let's do the communist Sweden. Plus, I mean, communist Sweden, take over Finland, take over Norway, or sorry, not take over, liberate them from the oppression of capitalism. We'll have, you know, probably Soviet troops helping us out in the defense against fascism and capitalism. Alright, in terms of infrastructure, we're gonna just spam air bases in Svealand and Gotland here. We're also going to build up some military factories. We are going to build up some infrastructure, and that's pretty much it in that regard for now. Yeah, I haven't even unpaused the game yet. God, I'm just talking and talking and talking, but there is a reason. Oh man, I haven't even like created a theater yet and things. God. So Sweden starts off with 12 divisions, and that's wonderful. Let's place them all under this one command here. What are you? Out of supply minus 50%. Movement plus 5, attack plus... Oh, this is nice. We'll do Erik af Edholm here. Give him the command. We're gonna call it Försvarsmakten, and that means the defense power. Why? Because that is what the Swedish military is called in modern times, so I just think that's kind of funny as a Swede. Insufficient resources, you say? Well, hello Soviet Union, let's trade. Why not? Right, so let me explain what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, screw the Navy. We have a Navy, but, you know, it's kind of useless. We could build it up, but I just feel like, you know, man, let's be really good at having a strong Air Force and a really nice and elite military. Not a huge, you know, military in terms of size, but just really good tank divisions and such, and a really good Air Force. Because after all, after the Second World War, Sweden had the 3rd largest Air Force in the world for like a period of 10 years between like 1952 and 1960s, I think. I'm not sure, but it was big, and it was pretty decent, so that's what we're gonna go for, but way earlier. Admiral Klaus Lindstrom, congratulations, you have the control over pretty much the entire Swedish fleet. Yeah, no, it is the entire Swedish fleet. Congratulations. Now, if you look up pictures of this guy, real pictures, I mean, you can see that this guy had some nice eyebrows. I have some pretty cool eyebrows, but not that long yet. I guess when I'm older, I'll be able to like comb them in a crazy fashion, so that's gonna be pretty cool. The oh my god, I can't pronounce anything. Yes, but Germany has pretty much just stationed troops back on the Rhineland, and no one has done anything. Because they can't do anything, really. Now, let's set a new national focus. Again, we can't do the collectivist thing because we're not a dictatorship yet. But let's go down the industrial effort so that we can start rushing for that extra research, because I think that is probably really powerful. Now, what... Yes, okay, let's do this. This is, let's already start our communist revolution here. We're having communism on the rise. So, speak new voices in Swedish communist movement. referring to the rule of the Social Democratic Workers' Party as a dictatorship of the bourgeois. They have begun calling for it to be brought out of power by any means necessary. Whether those means will come from within or without remains to be seen. There may be those in the government itself who support such ideas. Alright, let's increase the chance of a coup. I think that's what we want. I don't really want a civil war. The less blood we shed, Swedish blood we shed, the faster we can liberate our neighbors. Now, let's just watch this for fun, okay? It says 8% support there. I'm gonna speed this up. 9% support. It's huge. It's huge. Ooh, Spanish Civil War already. So there's a civil war in Spain, and Nationalist Spain declared war in Spain. Okay, so Nationalist Spain, or the Democratic, or the Republican Spain is a communist ruled country, and we can't really send volunteers because we need the world tension to be at 7% since we have the neutrality policy there. But this will be interesting seeing who wins. Normally the nationalists win, but you never know who sends support. Oh, look at that, the ice actually melts. It's really nice watching. Just because it was mid-March and I was like, man, is it still snowing everywhere in Sweden? And that actually tends to be the case. Of course, nowadays we have global warming, so it's a bit, yeah. But let's see, Marxist sympathies in government. We'll keep a close eye on them for many reasons. So all these text things, I've read through them in my other, in my test run. But yeah, you can always pause the video and read them yourselves. I'm just gonna, you know, kind of summarize what I see, because you know, reading. I mean, of course I can read, but I always tend to screw up. So armament effort would be really nice, but we're gonna, again, rush down to the extra research slot, so we're gonna go with the civilian factories. Now, here's an interesting choice that I haven't really decided on yet, but we can do concentrated industry, which increases factory output and max factories in state, or we can do dispersed industry, which increases factory output by only 10%, and factories in the state by 20%, which is the same as this one. But it also increases production efficiency retention, and the factory bomb vulnerability goes down there. So I kind of like this idea, especially, you know, considering if you have, since we're a small country, you know, if they have bombs and they start pounding us, it's easy if our, you know, that our factories are exposed. So let's go for dispersed industry. Oh, I just realized maybe I should pause here and actually tell you that, yeah, it's June 2nd as this video comes out, but the game only comes out on June 6th because Paradox are really kind and they've given me an early access key for, you know, me to release some videos. So I hope you're enjoying this. If you're watching it before June 6th, if you haven't heard of this game before, do check it out in the description below. It's awesome. So actually I'm not allowed to review it, but you know, this is just my honest opinion right now. I of course enjoy any Paradox game. Now watch this, we're at volunteer only, which gives us 1.5% recruitable population, and we're finally going to go over to limited conscription, which gives us 2.5% of the population. But look at that, manpower increase is really nice. So now we can finally start recruiting some more divisions. Now let's go a little bit more light tank. I think medium and heavy is what we're going to be doing mostly. The Olympic Games are over. That's nice. Now, here's the interesting thing. The Social Democratic Party, or in the elections, you know, the Swedish people are pretty much against militarization, but we have been taking a very militarizing policy. So, you either go for people must be heard, and then we'll just have wasted our, you know, political power, and we'll go down to disarm the nation, I think. Or no, volunteer only. Good, alright. But, you know, that's pretty terrible, because personally, I sense something coming, don't you? I don't know, it just feels like the world is uncertain, so we're gonna be going for protect our sovereignty first, and our national unity is already pretty high, so that's fine if it's at 85%. Ooh, Italy took Ethiopia. Ethiopia was next, so they haven't puppeted it at this time. It seems like they always go for annexation in the 3 games that I've played so far. But world tension is already at 3%, which isn't much, because 40% is pretty much when wars, everything starts breaking loose. But the biggest thing so far... Oh, the peace treaty... peace treaty is lower in world tension. That's nice. Continuing down to infrastructure effort. Very, very nice. It's October. Where is the snow? I don't see any snow. I remember, I think it was 2011. Probably 2010, 11 or something, when it started snowing on October 30th, and the snow didn't melt or anything. It just kept snowing. The winter went on until like late April. I think it was almost May, pretty much. So that was the times of suffering. Not suffering, but it's just pretty goddamn boring. I think what's nice about playing a small country like Sweden is that you kind of get to learn the mechanics and slowly expand, instead of just being thrown into the Soviet Union or into the German Reich and just juggling all the balls at the same time. Here you have some room for error. Let's choose a military theorist and already start accumulating that army experience, which will allow us to change our different divisions and what they have inside of them. I mean, we could exercise our troops, but that tends to cost a lot of equipment and manpower, which we don't really have at the moment. So we just unlocked a new light tank. Let's change that one out so that we have better tanks on the line. And what else could we do? Sorry, Toad, should we do anti-tank or anti-air? I think we'll do... I really don't know. You know what? Let's do Scania Vobis, which will unlock the motorized divisions for us. And, we'll have Scanias going around. Class conflicts divide Sweden. Change in popularity for communists 15%. National unity -2%. The national unity, to be honest, being such a small country, doesn't really matter, because we only really have so many victory points. Now, let's see. The communists already have 45%, and the Social Democrats only have 45%. So yeah, we're pretty close to a revolution or a coup. Finally, we're down here. We're going to go extra research slot, and the secret weapons and nuclear effort are pretty nice for later on if we ever plan on doing nukes. The secret weapons are actually really nice because I'm pretty sure since we have so much research space, we're going to be doing that later on, and that's nuclear technology, rocket technology, and all sorts of electronics, which is just absolutely great. But we're going to do extra research slot first, so we can get ahead of the rest of the world. Okay, so here's the strategy I'm thinking of. If we're gonna be good at Air Force, we can also be good at destroying tanks with our Air Force and providing close ground support. And we can also have anti-air so that they aren't able to attack us. And so having anti-tank is not as good as having anti-air with a powerful Air Force, I think. I'm not too sure. This is something we'll have to explore with just playing lots of games, or rather runs, not games. It's one game, right? Now, this silent workhorse is actually a pretty good option, because we get political power gain plus 15%. I mean, Captain of Industry would be nice, because the construction speed I don't feel is too big of a thing right now. Like, it doesn't really matter too much unless you're trying to super, if it was actually a bonus on production, I might understand. But political power is invaluable. The Hindenburg Incidents. Apparently it didn't actually happen, so it wasn't a disaster this time. Oh, let's pause. The May Revolution. So the 1st of May has happened, and okay, this is a pretty big thing here. This is pretty much, we choose whether we want a civil war or if we want to wait. I think we're gonna go for waiting, because it's not big enough right now. I feel like last time I got this event, I think we were at like 52%, and yeah, 48 doesn't seem to be enough in my opinion. So the revolution is inevitable. The inevitable can wait. What else? Let's continue our national focus here. So here's the thing: extra research slot 2 doesn't work for us because we need to have at least 50 factories, and we only have 25. So we'll only be getting that later on. But let's go down the armament effort so we can get more military factories, and in that way start building up our military. Oh yes, 4 research slots is absolutely great. Now imagine having, I think this is 1, 2, 3, yeah, another 3 here, so that would be 7 research slots. That would be insane. Oh, so amazing. Amelia Earhart disappears. She was trying to complete the first solo, or she completed the first solo flight around across the Atlantic, but she tried the first circumnavigation and disappeared. That's a loss for aviation, truly. Now we're gonna change out one of the light tanks in the armor division to a heavy tank, just to be really cool. Now, do we have 10? Well, we could do support artillery on them, so that would be, yeah, I think we'll do support artillery. Does that increase? I'm not sure yet. Well, see, there's just so many different things to look at here, but oh, this was too expensive. You know, back. Wait, can we remove? Yeah, alright. So we'll save this one with the extra heavy tank, and we'll start producing heavy tanks as well, because now we have an extra military factory. Now, I wish it was click, like drag and drop here, because right now it's just a little bit annoying that you have to click through all the things, especially in the this window here, because you know, it can get pretty long. Scania Vobis, yes, welcome. And Toad Anti-Air, that's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. Now, this event I haven't actually seen before, but while the popular movement for communist revolution has been loud and terrifying for a certain section of the political movement, has been largely quiet and waiting. Wait, what? See, I always screw up when I read these things, but yes, the wait is over now, or now over, sorry. Oh my god, I just can't read these events in public like this. But yes, today, as the social democratic leadership and army were bracing for a revolt on a national scale, a number of officials in the Swedish government swiftly placed Per Albin Hansson under house arrest and entered negotiations with the rebels. Whilst retaining a pretense of safeguarding order, that what the negotiations effectively amounted to was the secure positions within the new socialist state for those who choose to cooperate. See, again, I'm very sorry. The coup was finished before anyone could move to stop it, and those who are now imprisoned, exiled, or executed by the new regime. The tides of history will sweep away the past. Reign of Terror grants political power gain plus 10%, that's wonderful. And SKP, the Svenska Kommunistpartiet, the Swedish Communist Party, becomes the ruling party. And look at that, we have a nice little new flag. Sven Linderoth is the leader, and our country is called Folkhemmet. This is kind of probably something in a paradox. You know, it's an internal joke. Folkhemmet means the people's home, and what's cool about it is that this was pretty much the political program of the Social Democratic Party during the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s in Sweden. So yeah, we are now communist, ladies and gentlemen, and in fact that means I can not join the faction yet, but by improving our relations with the Soviet Union, we will soon be on their side. Sven Linderoth abandons neutral foreign policy. For the future of Folkhemmet, we are no longer neutral anymore, and yeah, we're only 1 point away from joining the Comintern. Alright, let's get a company into the tank designing side of things. AB Landsverk will do us fine. So research time goes down by 10% and reliability goes up by 5%. Lovely. Japan is at war with China and Shanxi now, so technically, in a way, some historians would say that this is the beginning of World War II. But of course it all depends on how the events in Europe go down. It seems like... okay, the Germans are still working on their military. We could boost party popularity in France, because they are almost over 50%, although the opposition is pretty strong, so I'm not too sure about that. Plus, it's not like we're a major power that can influence the actual coup if we start one. And it's pretty expensive, after all. Ask to join faction. Hello there. They will accept. This will change the world tension by 0.56%. And thus, we are in the Comintern. Are we not? No, they still have to accept. There we go. We are in a faction, and the world is ready to be liberated by Sweden. Or, I mean, sorry, the people's home. Now, what's the first priority going to be? Of course, we need to build up and all of that, but I feel like Finland is in the way. They either become communist, which is they're far from doing, or, you know, they have to be liberated by us through force. We need a revolution to go on so that we know we can connect with the motherland, even though Stalin is a traitor to the revolution. I mean, we've joined him, so we need a land bridge so we can, you know, feel secure. Hey Turkey, do you want to become communist? I know it's a great thing. I'm just gonna send you some people there, and the Communist Party is just gonna grow from absolutely nothing into a huge force in a few days, because it's 0.13 growth a day per day. Look at that, already 1%. That is just insane, I tell you. Apparently you need at least 30 divisions to be able to send volunteer forces, which is kind of sad, because it'd be nice to send a few just to get some experience instead of, you know, just sitting around here and, you know, making a big difference in their cause, although they are winning. I'm hoping that the Republican Spain joins our little league here. Alright, let's assign them to the Finnish front there. We're going to do an offensive line to pretty much cut off everything they care about, like so. Although, I mean, technically we should follow the entire coast, but whatever. I think this is pretty good for now. Maybe. Actually, we'll do it like this. I did it like that, but it just looked really weird, and I'm hoping that the Soviets do most of the work, actually. Åland has always been ours, so we're gonna go for that. I know it's minor, and we're technically gonna try to take as much as possible from Finland itself, but, you know, Åland, the people actually speak Swedish in Åland even today, most of the population there, and most people want to be Swedish, but the League of Nations in 1927, I think they decided that Åland should be Finnish, or stay Finnish rather. Wow, Sven Linderoth brings revolution to Finland. While we have consolidated the socialist society in Folkhemmet, many nations will still suffer under the despots of old. The workers of Finland have no voice, no means to organize, and any attempts to institute socialism will be crushed savagely by Gyotso Kallio regime. We cannot wait for the gears of international revolution to turn for Finnish people. With the revolution, we have proven that we could crush capitalist oppressors here, and we will crush the oppressors in Uusimaa as well. Sven Lindstrom abandoned all attempts at diplomatic rhetoric towards Kes-controlled Finland. The question to eradicate all borders is now strictly focused on eradicating their borders. So Finland gets an event, which is interesting. Secret weapons begin. Battlefield support, let's do this. You know, I just realized our justification is going to take forever. So yeah, maybe that plus 10% thing we have in Sweden is pretty nice. Because this one takes up until the 22nd of June 1938, so that's a good wait. I mean, actually, it's only 6 months, but 6 months in the Second World War is, yeah, it's a pretty decent amount of time. But you know what, I think that will be all for this particular episode. I know it's an early end, or it's not actually an early end. We've already gone 30 minutes and almost 2 years, so I'm looking forward to continuing this. I hope you're enjoying it as well. I'll be pretty much spamming episodes as much as possible in the next few days. And yeah, also don't forget to check out my Brazil Let's Play and the time lapses that I'll be publishing probably very soon. In any case, of course, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps the channel and the video out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, this has been GameGabster. Farewell.